The Green Army Men toy soldiers are bracing for impact. Thousands of troops defend the trenches, with hundreds of guns at their disposal. And their enemy is death charging forward rapidly. Every other Army Men nation has formed a coalition to death charge over no man's land and take on the Green Army Men defenses. This coalition is comprised of reds, oranges, tans, purples, pinks, blues, and more. Can the Green Army Men hold their trench defenses, or will they get crushed under the weight of all the other Army Men colors? This video was made using the Men of War Assault Squad 2 Army Men of War mod. If you guys do enjoy the video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Helps me out a ton in the YouTube algorithm. And comment down below any other battle ideas you guys have got that you'd like to see in Men of War Assault Squad 2. Now, let's get into this thing. Alrighty then, gamers, let's go ahead and start this thing in slow-mo because we are going to be seeing thousands of Army Men charging forward and like 1,000 defenders, and the game crashed. Incredible. Okay, hopefully I fixed the crash problem right there. Let's go ahead and press start and watch as the green trenches hold out against every other Army Men nation. Now, they have obviously a very stacked trench line here, but they also have artillery in the back lines. They've got some anti-personnel mines right in front of their pencil stakes to try and disrupt the enemy if they get too close to them. And on top of all of this, they have a small flanking force on the left over there. They are only going to be activated once the enemy starts to engage in an attempt of a green counterattack against the oncoming nations. So I'm not sure if that counterattack will really do all that much, but at the very least it will result in a distraction against the Army Men nations here. Alright, let's see as we start to get some of that fire coming out from the greens. That shot completely whiffed. That one also, and that one. We're 3 for 3 on missed shots. And that one misses as well. 4 for 4. 5 for... Guys, calibrate your aim, please. We had 5 opportunities to kill oncoming vehicles or infantry, and you missed every last shot. There we go. Finally hitting a Crusader right there, and big boom on one of the, I think that's a Chiha? The pink vehicle is one of the Japanese World War II vehicles, but that was a lot of missed opportunities for the greens. If the, oh my god, I think it crashed again. Ah, brother! Instant Gaming has literally saved me thousands of dollars from their deals. And if you're watching this video, I'm guessing you like Army Men. You can get the Army Men RTS for $1.07 on Instant Gaming. You can play the Men of War Assault Squad 2 Army Men mod for $3.23, or the absolute classic Toy Soldiers for just $7. Let's not forget, you can also save crazy money on Xbox Game Pass, PlayStation Network cards, and Nintendo eShop credits. Trust me, Instant Gaming is extremely safe and my favorite place to buy cheap games. It's the Greens' lucky day, because another crash means another opportunity. Let's see if we crash again. I hope not. I think the problem is the mod is just a little bit unstable at the moment, so it doesn't always have the easiest time, but let's go in normal speed until the firing starts once again. Let's see if this time around they can actually hit some of their shots. All right, here we go, and it looks like they did hit that orange tank right there. Beautiful. Greens are already doing better this time around. Let me know in the comments section, are you rooting for the greens, or are you rooting for every other Army Men color, baby? Let's find out. Massive shots going out and completely whiffing again. Alright, so the greens never really improved. Another missed shot right there from the green artillery. Guys, aim a little bit more, please. Let's actually hit some shots here. The infantry is disembarking from these various vehicles here, and it's a good thing they did because the greens finally found their mark right there as that Panzer IV-G blows up into flames. And actually, we've got a few flaming Army Men over this way. Over here, we've got more explosions as more tanks go up in the air. It's a beautiful sight to behold here, baby. The Greens have finally started to zero in on the enemy. But of course, there are so many vehicles that are coming forward. It is going to be insanely difficult for the Greens to hold all of them back on top of the infantry coming forward. We do have an infantry charge over here, and they are striking some of those AP mines right off the rip there. In Men of War Assault Squad 2, sometimes troopers will just decide to straight charge for the objective rather than firing and moving, while others will choose instead to take a slower approach and fire and move. And so the chargers are truly death charging forward just to try and get to this sandbag wall here to get some shots off, but they're of course getting slaughtered before they can. Hopefully the troopers behind them can provide some better fire after these guys die. I mean, worst case scenario, these troopers die as cannon fodder and distract the Green Army men for a while there. The Green reinforcements are starting to mobilize over this way slowly. That counterattack could be very, very big for the Green Army, especially if these guys on the far right flank do end up kind of getting distracted by the actual trench fortress in front of them. They won't see those guys coming up on the right side right there. The artillery is just slinging massive shots against the enemy, and most of them are completely missing. Oh, guys, you gotta zero in with those big guns. Come on now. The little dinky French tankette things are firing away with machine guns. They do come equipped with a main cannon as well. I haven't really seen them fire it though, so not sure how much damage it would truly do. Most of these cannons, there we go. Oh, that does a lot of damage. Holy cow. A lot of those things are probably loading up HE shots as they are going up against pretty much primarily cannons and flak guns and things like that. There's no reason to be using AP shots. These guys trying to death charge into lines and getting shot up. Artillery in the back here actually getting exploded by the enemy tanks, so that is going to be the end of those arty guns for the Greens. That's a real shame. And some of the M5s over this way are also blowing up for the Green defenders. The flak guns are still alive. Well, nope, not the middle one right there, but the rest of them are. And those flak guns are probably the strongest of all the units anti-tank wise. They are just so devastating, so it's a good thing some of these are still alive, albeit they take a very long time to fire, but boom, absolutely destroys, and those guys literally just evaporated. An HE shot so strong, it left nothing but helmets and guns. My goodness. Alright, the counterattackers over here do have a little bit of M5 support from this gun right here, taking out that Panzer III for them. The Shermans also moving forward. They've got 3 M4 Shermans. Right now, only one is actually moving forward. The other 2 are staying in the back. Machine gun on top of it, firing away. That's a 30 cal, I believe, right? That might be a 50 cal. I think that is a 50 cal actually, but it's also rounding off some main cannon fire right there as the Green infantry comes up over this hill in an attempt of a counterattack against a very large swath of army men nations over this way. You got the blues, you got the reds, you got the grays, the oranges, a whole swath of colors. And actually it looks like that Green Sherman in the way back there is on fire, dead as a doornail. So maybe the other one is also killed? I'm not entirely sure, to be completely honest with you. Still plenty of AP mines further up here, though, that the Army Men nations can be potentially tripping and dying from. Also, I'm wondering if this orange vehicle will explode from this, since it is a light vehicle. Actually, it does look like it might have broken its wheel there? I'm not entirely sure. That might be immobilized. That might have had its axle blown up and been immobilized based on the location of that explosion. However, I think the larger tanks, they're probably not even going to get tracked from those AP mines. The AP mines will likely only be good for killing infantry that's coming on forward here. Luckily, the Greens do still have a number of bazooka units, and they should have some AT grenades for themselves as well, so they'll be able to take out these tanks as they get nice and close. But right now, they're kind of in that sweet spot where the Green Army cannot fire bazookas at them or throw grenades as they're just a little too far away. But we do have a huge number of green troopers here firing. We've got M16A4 troopers, we've got M1 Garand troopers, Springfield troopers, Thompson gunners, BAR gunners. It's kind of a mix between the Vietnam War and World War II for this Green Army Men Nation in the Army Men RTS mod here. This flak gun is dead. That one is also dead, but this one over here is surprisingly still alive, so this could still do some damage against some of these oncoming tanks. There we go, hits a Panzer III that the Greys are controlling right there, and I believe that thing is eviscerated. There's still a pink tank behind him. I think that T-34 is still alive, but the rest of this stuff is all just junked right now. Great job from the green soldiers. They are doing wonderfully. We've got a ton of troops here, though, from the attacking infantry coming up middle of the road there. That is going to be rather devastating. By the way, guys, I did just want to mention that my book, Army Men, Blight of the Empire, is out now on Amazon if you guys want to go ahead and check it out. It has a ton of just returning characters from Army Men Civil War, the series we used to do on this channel. So Hunter's in it, Tony's in it, General McLear, of course. You know, all sorts of different iconic characters from this channel's history are in the book, and it is a completely new story. So far, the reviews have been very positive, so I appreciate y'all reviewing it as well on Amazon. If you guys do have Kindle Unlimited, it is free on Kindle Unlimited, and I tried to make it as cheap as possible, otherwise in paperback and hardcover editions. Either way, these tanks over here are doing a massive flank right now. The M5 for the Greens over here was destroyed, as was this flak gun, I think a long time ago. So these green troopers don't have much. They do have one actual still remaining artillery cannon. I didn't realize they had any RT cannons still alive, but here it is. And actually, I think that somehow managed to kill that Panzer IV-G despite it landing rather far from it, so that's nice for him. Although these tanks back here will likely flank it and destroy it. Wait, did that just shoot straight up? What was that? I saw an object just flying through the sky. Was that their shell? Oh, wait, what? How did that shell land there? Was that from that, or was that some... It is shooting dead into the sky. Is this acting like a mortar and not actual artillery? I'm so confused. That is wild. There it is. It just shot straight into the sky and then landed on these guys. What in the magic sorcery is going on here? That is crazy. Okay, I don't know what the heck is happening with that. The Greens are into witchcraft, apparently. There's still a ton of infantry over here, so the green infantry is going to have to hold them back if they want to keep the sorcery of the green artillery still alive and kicking. There's a few AP mines we can see here from those green flags on the ground. None of them being stepped on just yet, but if they do get stepped on, it could take a lot of these troopers with them. This guy actually almost just yoked in there with his STG, a very powerful assault rifle in this mod, actually, so it could be rough. Some more explosions going off over this way. And here comes T-34 tank. Could finally flank over here. Where did this orange tankette come from? What in the... Okay, so it destroyed that artillery. I don't know how this got all the way back here. What is happening? I'm telling you, witchcraft in the Army Men world right now. Alright, the green main line over here is still holding strong, although the sheer number of enemies coming forward directly into their lines is daunting. Look at that. Hundreds of troopers all right in front of them. They are trying to get as much fire out against them. Luckily, most of the tanks seem to be dead for the attackers over here. There's a T-34 coming forward, though it looks like it did just get hit by something, so that might die. Not totally sure, but as long as the tanks don't start shelling these troopers, I think they have a real shot of holding this trench line. We still do have some supplementary troopers in the way back over here. It looks like these guys managed to take out this Panzer IV-G right there. There's another one coming in, though. Oh, there's a small AT gun right there. I don't even know if it's capable of killing these. I think a bazooka killed that one, to be honest with you. We've also got more troopers back in some of these little areas over here. This Sherman is still alive. I believe this one is dead, and it looks like this one over here is big dead. That one got absolutely roasted. The counterattackers are actually still very much alive on the battlefield over here, though. There's a lot of them still back here. Some of the more forward ones did die, but it looks like they're doing a pretty good job against the attackers over here. So that is not too shabby. The attackers still have a bunch of mines they need to cross over this way. That just shows that they're not managing to actually get right up in there. There goes one of the mines popping off right there. Okay, there's a Panzer III over there still alive as well. So the attackers do still have some vehicle support that they can look to assist them, but it is a bit of a tank graveyard over this way nonetheless. The middle section for the attackers is starting to do better and better. Look at that. These troopers getting right up here. It looks like they tripped a lot of the mines. There's still a few batches of them, but most of them have been tripped. But on this side, these greens might just be able to hold out completely at this point. They've taken out that orange tank right there. The T-34 is dead. It's just kind of a big glob of troopers over here attacking them. So I have high hopes for these guys, which is good because then maybe they can get some crossfire over towards here and support their gang that is getting kind of butchered in this direction, because this is not looking super duper good. That T-34 could do some serious damage. It might be turret damage though, because I did see it get hit in the turret, and I haven't really seen it move said turret around since then. So yeah, I have a feeling that might actually have some serious damage to it. We got grenades going out over here from the green soldiers. Attaboy! That's what we like to see, baby! Alright, is that gonna... Okay, they died before we even got to see any of them die from the grenade. Rip. Alright, it's pretty hard to tell who is actually winning this fight at this point. The Greens still have their strongholds, and they still have a lot of troopers firing away, but there's still a ton of the other Army Men nations coming on forward here. A ton. Okay, there's actually more moving tanks than I would have thought. My goodness. Alright, let's check out the kill counts. This thing actually does have 2 vehicle kills, so it apparently is doing something. Let's check out some of these troopers. This guy's got no kills. None. 1. 3. None. 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 Oh my god, guys. None. 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 Who is getting the kills? This guy's got 2. None. 2. 1. None. 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 1. Like who? They've killed so many of the attackers, but none of these guys have any kills. Are all the dead guys the ones that were actually managing to contribute to this fight? Because right now I'm seeing no one with kills when I was expecting to see, like, some troopers with 10 to 15 kills on this batch. But no siree Bob. We do have some explosions striking both sides of the battlefield here, but these vehicles are coming forward now through this little gap here. I mean, this little anti-tank gun has ravaged some of these Panzer IVs. I didn't think that was the thing that was killing them, but I think it was, and it hits the ground. Rip. But if that could continue to get some kills over here, that would certainly be very, very big for the green troopers. Another missed shot right there. We still have this M5, right? Yeah, this is still alive over here. And then we still have that one Sherman, which might be tracked or engine damaged. I'm not sure, because it just hasn't come forward at all during this thing. This is dead. What are you shooting at? Oh, there's a blue trooper there and a red trooper there. That's who they're shooting at right over that way. There's your pink tank coming on forward. I'm hoping the M5 can eliminate that for us with relative ease. That would be the dream. Here she comes, though. Here she comes. I actually, on Daily Plastic, which is my Army Men channel, where I unbox real Army Men and stuff like that, just did the Ukraine war, and I discovered a new Army Men company from Ukraine called Mars Toys. And Lego 501st, who is another YouTuber who does Army Men content, actually showed me them. Oh, by the way, this M5 is not firing. This is bad. This is really bad for them. But those Mars Toys were so realistic to the Ukraine war conflict. It's crazy. It is still live. It's... Okay, AT grenades. But that might... Yeah, that's going to hurt their own troopers. Oy vey. What was that? Was kind of pathetic. Like, come on, guys. That was cringe. Like, what are we doing out here? That was bad. This little AT gun is still firing and not really meeting any of its shots. These guys are still in the fight over here, but they're not making much progress against these enemies around here. Ay, ay, ay. I'm getting a little bit concerned for our green comrades. I think that they might not be able to make this thing happen. They're doing a nice defense just about everywhere. Grenade going out this way. But at the same time, they're floundering in a lot of key positions. And also, a lot of these guys don't have a lot of kills, and that grenade's gonna kill them without them even trying to throw it back like that gray trooper just did. What is happening? Fellas, the gray trooper actually threw it right into the tan trooper. A little bit of friendly fire there. Alright, at least we got this solid number of troops over here. The Sherman is mobile again. That could be very, very big for the Greens. Alright, the Greens are also grenading over this way a bit more. Why don't we go ahead and bump it up a speed as more of these troopers end up dying. We're at less risk of crashing, and our frames per second gets better because the computer doesn't have to account for nearly as many AI entities on the battlefield itself. So, very nice. Very nice! Alright, that's a big grenade against the Greens right there. At least they react to it and run away, which could save their lives, and it does. Beautifully done there, boys. That could have been disastrous, like the other troopers who didn't do anything at all to try and stop that granata from coming in and destroying them. T-34 over here, though, is coming in the flank, and it is just machine gunning down a lot of these troopers, getting the HE shots off to the Panzer III, joining it and eviscerating these lines that we're holding for so long. That is a travesty. Oh, boys, what are we doing? We didn't have a single bazooka trooper who could deal with those guys over there. They might be too far away, to be fair. That's rough. So this flank is likely going to go down after a brutal fight where they held for so long, killed so many enemy soldiers, but those tanks came through and did them in nastily. There's still a little resistance, but it's just not a ton. And that is a disaster for them. Over this way, the middle green line is getting cooked. They are just getting chopped to bits. The back lines is still alive. We still have this tank gun here. We got troopers over this way who are about to get flanked. Guys, get out an AT grenade. Come on. They might have already used all their AT grenades, though, on these guys. Okay, that tank actually is damaged. Someone get an AT grenade out, please. Boys, there's 2 tanks coming straight at you. You have to have something. You have to have something. This is no good. That is a regular grenade going into a yellow trooper right there. Guys, this ain't good. No, are you just gonna get run over? Like, oh. Boys. There you go. Finally. Someone does something. Ugh. Are they powerful enough to get the kill? Or is that thing still alive? I can't even tell. I think it's dead, but the Panzer III is still alive. Also, what about the Sherman over here? Okay, she's still coming forward. That's good. Oh, and the M5 is back to life. That's good, too. Okay. I mean, that's something. Oh, no, the T-34 is still alive. No, boys, no. This is not good. Oh, yes. AT gun takes out the Comet there, finally. That's something. Gray tank, I think, just shot its own tank. Oh. Oh. Oh? Do you not have an AT grenade, my guy? I have a feeling you don't. Oh, look at this. Armament Nation's clearing out the last of the Greens over this way. That is now lost. This is becoming lost. Come on, get a big shot. Get a big shot. Come on. Come on. Come on. Big money. Come on. He's not shooting. There you go. Did they at least track it? They did track it. That's actually big. It won't be able to just roll over all of these defenses. And this thing can continuously shoot it in an attempt to kill it. Alright, we're down to like the left flank over here. The only bit of the battlefield still alive for the Greens. They have a decent number of free roaming troopers and some troopers up in the trenches there, assisting them statically. That's good. They also have 1 Sherman tank back this way. Is it dead? Oh, it is heavily damaged. Yikes. Okay, so no tank. Oh goodness, look at all these troopers coming forward. Oh, the AT gun finally did bite the dust there. Yikes. All right, let's go in full speed ahead. I think the Greens are going to end up losing the trench defense that they had here. But gosh, golly, gee willikers, they've done a nice job defending it. Just the enemy nations were too powerful. Yeah, look at this. The final stand is in full effect here. Greens are still trying to get some kills while they still can. But me oh my, it's rough. Some good grenades going out from them. I think all of the AP mines have already been triggered, really, so that's not going to be helpful anymore. Yeah, there was all these AP mines over here are just gone now. All these troopers here. Oh, if only we had artillery, there would be so many kills happening over this way. So many, but these guys are just kind of steamrolling through the trenches now over here, scrapping the last of the Green Army men. We still have some pockets of resistance up this way, but the remainder of the tanks are coming on through. A bunch of the army men went straight back that way. You guys really not have any AT grenades? Or are you just not doing anything against these? It's hard to tell. Still have the M5 though, so maybe that can get some tank kills potentially. Although I kind of doubt it. Alright, here we go. These guys in final stand formation now. Enemies popping up through the trenches over this way and getting shot to bits by these green troopers over here. So at least they're going down with a big amount of gumption. They're going great. But not great. They're impressing me with trying to survive. They did have an AT grenade. They threw one into this and they killed it. Good job, boys. There you go. That's one less tank. That Panzer III is going to get revenge, probably. Alright, a little grenade onto the gray soldier there. You guys, can you kill this guy? Oh, of course, their bazooka trooper right there is dead. AT grenade? Yes? No, he had it in his hands! That's tragic. That is tragic right there. These troopers getting wiped. The M5 could still do something. We do have some infantry left alive over here. It's something. It's not much, but it's something. Grenades going out. Nice. Good job, boys. We like to see that. I just want to see as many kills from the Green Army men as possible here. Get a grenade out. Come on, buddy. Take the granata out. There you go. There you go. Nice! Yes! We love to see it! Okay. Is that it for the enemy tanks? It might be. Maybe so. This is the massive amount of infantry steamrolling through right now. Green infantry is retreating back, which is not good. Looks like we're not going to have a big solid defense of the M5 here, which could potentially get some kills with HE fire, but not without infantry assistance to help them out. That shot didn't do much, it seems. And these guys are coming up over the hill. Alright, well, that red soldier is dead. I mean, eviscerated. There's nothing to send home to the parents. Yikes. There you go. Alright, the M5, despite it all, is getting a serious number of kills against these enemies with HE shots. Still going, but there's a grenade, so it's probably done so. And there it goes. The last of the crew members. It tried its best right there, but ended up faltering. There's just a few more green soldiers. They're all kind of retreating over this way as the enemy nations come through. Let's time-lapse their retreat and death eventually as they get to the end of the map. Well, there we go. The Greens do get extinguished out here, chased down by the remainder of the enemy. Maybe 100 or so soldiers left alive for the enemy. Remember, a lot of these guys blew up and were completely eviscerated. So, you know, red are the attackers, yellow are the green defenders, but it doesn't really show the full picture of how many were killed here. And honestly, the number of tanks killed is absolutely insane. This tank is still alive, and this tank is still alive, and that's it. 2 tanks. That is it. The Greens did a heroic defense here. They just couldn't make it happen. If you guys do enjoy these videos, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check out my book, link in the description below, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.